inside your bedroom. We stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm. Physical silence, no need to speak a word. Lay here beside me. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on my flask, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I never dared to ask if we're gonna last. I'm needing all your love, needing all your love. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts. Your blood is pumping, I feel it in your veins, surfing your heat waves. Your taste is different, somehow it makes me brave. Chemical nature. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on my flask, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Oh my God, I'm a fool, thought I'd never fall into you. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's so cruel how I'm loving the things you do. Ooh, yeah. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Too fast, your lips on my flask, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I'm a sucker for hearts.
Hello and welcome to the weekly live stream. Oh, I don't sound the greatest. I'm not feeling the greatest either. I think the weather's getting to me. It's cold and I am really tired because nobody at my house has slept super well. So hopefully that will get better this week. It should. But if I sound really strange, that's why. So I think just for the sake of time, because I am going to try to get to bed a little bit early, we will probably jump into the first sprint of the night very, very soon. So if you've never joined us before, we do 3 writing sprints here on these weekly live streams. We go for 20 minutes each, and we chat and everything in between. So I know the title below says that I will be continuing to work with Frozen as friends, and I'm going to do a little bit with that tonight, but I just started over this weekend the read through of Curse of Wings and Darkness, which is the vampire romance I wrote in the fall. That book will be published in May 21st. and I am doing the read through. So, what that looks like for me is I sit down and I try to read the book in as close to one sitting as possible. I thought I was going to get a lot more done yesterday than I actually did. I thought I was going to be able to just wrap up this afternoon and then tonight it would be back to Frozen as Friends. That did not go as planned. If you saw the vlog that went live today, then you may already kind of have seen a little bit of where that went off the rails and why, but it was still a really good weekend for me. It was enjoyable. I did not do very much writing at all, but it was a nice weekend. Got a lot of quality time with family, so go check that out on my channel after we've done our weekly live stream. So tonight it'll be a little different. I'm going to be doing more on that read through for Curse of Wings and Darkness. I also need to do a tad bit of planning. So that will also be something that we do a little bit of tonight as well with my Happy Planner. If you did not know, I'm a huge fan of the Happy Planner collection. I like it because it's the arc discs. Everything snaps in and out of them. So it's still like a spiral notebook, but you can remove pages, which is great. So I'm going to do a little bit of planning for this upcoming week because I have some pretty big events in school and outside of school, which is my day job. I work in a school and I also go to school. So one of my night classes tomorrow happens and I need to start taking a look at homework assignments and when everything is due. So I need to get organized for this week and into the next. So I think I'm going to start the first sprint by getting organized. I also need to get up and grab a few more things because I was not fully prepared when I sat down tonight. So a few things need to happen before we can move into the actual writing of the night. So what is everybody else working on? Let me know in the comments what you will be working on tonight to get ahead of the game, to start a new project. What is everybody working on while I kind of piece together my stuff? Ooh, there we go. Alrighty. Getting caught up on the odds and ends. That's pretty much my day. Wow, that was really, really loud. It's just been a lot of me getting organized. I took a nap today, which is something I don't really do. I have a hard time taking naps. I either lay down and sleep for a really long time, I go into REM cycle very quickly, or um, I just can't sleep for I can't cat nap well. But today I was exhausted. So I took an hour-long nap and I actually did wake up feeling better. So that was highly needed. So I didn't do very much at all today, which is why I'm having to play catch up on my planning on the odds and ends, speaking of, tonight. But it's okay. We'll make it all happen. Alrighty. I say let's put up our timer for our first sprint. We'll do 20 minutes, then we'll all reconnect, see where we all land. Hopefully, I will be done with my planning and I can move into reading stuff for Curse of Wings and Darkness. I am into chapter 5 of 27, plus there's kind of like an epilogue-ish section. So more like 28-ish chapters. So I have quite a bit of ways to go. And I'm hoping it will not take me more than like half of this week to do that. I would really like to be done by Wednesday. So fingers crossed that that will happen. So we're going to start with planning and our 20-minute sprint, and I will see you guys in a little bit. 3, 2, 1, sprint. Alrighty. So there was sprint 1. I actually got started reading chapter 5 for Curse of Wings and Darkness. So I got a little more done than I like thought I would with that time. So that's nice. I'm still not fully through chapter 5, which is okay. I'm making progress. So, how did everybody else do? Hopefully, it was a nice and productive sprint for everybody. Let me see here. Left me for the left a word out there. Okay. Now I feel a little better. I was right in the middle of making a note when the timer went off. So, kind of wanted to go back and fix that. Let's see. I don't know if it is or how cold it is where you guys live, but it is freezing here and I am not about it. I am already so done with winter. Ugh, I hate the winter. They always go by so fast. Yes, they do. Sometimes, if I had more time, or longer sessions for these live streams, which is why I'm actually thinking about moving the date for these live streams, rather than doing them Sundays, do them a different day. I'm thinking about it. Just because I would love if we could go for longer. But the way it works out, 3 sprints, I think, is a good amount. I almost think 2 is too short. Like amount of time to talk in between and stuff. That's just not long enough to me. But 20 minutes is not really very long. And I would love if we could go longer. But since they're Sunday nights, I do have kind of like a limited window. So ideally, I would love to do these on like a Saturday afternoon. That's really when I would like to do my live streams. However, um, Saturday afternoons don't always work for me. And also, that was when Jen from Jen's Bookshelf did all of her live streams was Saturday afternoons. And so I would join hers. Excuse me. And then she would join mine on Sundays. So it worked out. Jen has not done a live stream in a while, and I don't know why or if she'll come back to that. And so I'm thinking about moving mine to Saturday. Woo! Holy moly. Mix of few do Sunday night, so this is nice. But it is also Sunday night when people are getting ready for the week. Yes. Which is why I was a little concerned doing it on Sunday nights. Because people don't typically, I mean, most people are going to work in the morning on Mondays. And so a lot of people want Sunday to relax, and a lot of people don't want to stay up late at all on a Sunday, which is kind of why the live streams are not very long. We go about 45-ish minutes, an hour 45 sometimes. I don't know. I'll have to look again. But we go about an hour or so. So I don't know if you guys have thoughts about when I should host these live streams, let me know because I am considering moving them. I think I might have mentioned that last week too. I don't know. I might have. I will say as I'm reading this book, I am really excited for this book. I already have, I would say, more interest online as I promote this story on like TikTok, especially, but Instagram, my YouTube channel, YouTube Shorts. There's already, I think, more interest for this book than some of my others. So I am so excited to get this one out in May. And I really do love the story. I'm having a really good time reading through it right now. I'm not finding too many things. I will say the more books I publish, the more I actually like the more notes I make when I do these read throughs. And I know that it's because I have a better eye for this stuff now. And I know that's what it is because since I've actually done that more made more notes and more changes when I do my personal edits. My editor has actually said that my more recent releases have come to her already pretty tight compared to my first few books. So I know that it just means I'm getting better at this and honing my craft, which is great. It's nice to know that I'm getting better as I go. And it also means that certain aspects are easier as I go, which is very refreshing. So there's that. But this is definitely, I'm so excited for this book. I think this is the start of a brand new journey because it's much more of an adult romance. It's a spicy book, which is fun. It's been really fun to read. And I think the more we get into the series, it will get spicier even. And we'll introduce more characters and it'll get more in depth, like the plot line and everything. I'm really excited about that. It'll just be really fun. I'm also really excited for my fall release, Trial of Flame and Wings, which is the dragon inspired book. It does have some dragony things to it. If you are a Patreon member, the parts, because this book is split up into several parts, and the different parts explain the mythology in the world. And those parts are going out tomorrow to Patreon members. So if you're not a Patreon member, go join because it's only $5 at most. To be a Patreon member, the $5 tier is the tier where you get all the short stories. So those members will be getting this document, which I'm really excited for. I had to tinker with it. I did a lot of work on it early this morning, playing with it because I had to finalize some things and make some decisions to change a couple titles and stuff, which is fine. It's an early draft, so that doesn't necessarily mean it's for sure. It could change again. But that book is also going to be really good, I think. I'm excited for that series. It's also a romance, but the main character is very different than Lily in Curse of Wings and Darkness. And I'm super excited to write that kind of a female character again. She's similar-ish to Kenna Riley from The Arena. If you've read The Arena, they're similar. I almost think that Kenna Riley would probably grow up to be this kind of a woman. So I'm so excited to sit down and write that. As soon as I finish writing Frozen as Friends, which I was hoping to finish in January, but it looks like it's going to trickle over into February. Once I finish with writing that first draft, I will rest that until probably July when I go back through and read that for the December release. And then I'll start writing that book. So I already have a lot of things drafted out for that one. I'm super excited for that series. That is great. And you got a following waiting for the next one. Yes. I have gained quite a few followers that I think have only followed me for that release for Curse of Wings and Darkness, which is interesting. So, yeah, I'm excited to release it. I don't know if I'll return to young adult in the next year. I think if I make a return to young adult books, will probably be a couple years out, just because these series I envision being a little bit lengthier. I think they're going to be longer than 3 books. I know Trials of Wings and Flame and Wings, I know that one will likely be quite a bit longer. It is much more of a true fantasy story, so they will be longer books in general. So if I do make a return to young adult books, it will probably be quite a ways out. But we'll see. You never know. I could surprise myself. Alrighty, whoopsie, I lost some of my view here. Move into our second sprint. Don't forget to hit the like button below. Check out the links in my description box. Also, if you haven't already, it links you to all of my projects, speaking of all my books, and all of my social platforms are at the top. So you can check out that Patreon if you're interested. And when you subscribe to Patreon, you get access to all of the previous posts also. So you're not actually missing out on anything. You get all the stuff from like my backlist and stuff also. And I'm trying to up my game with Patreon this year. Patreon and YouTube are my priorities this year as far as like my social platforms go and where I want to put a lot of my focus and energy. I love creating, and TikTok when I first got started kind of reinvigorated like my love of video, that kind of storytelling, and getting to do that in like a long form with YouTube, I love. So, definitely enjoying that. I'm going to finish reading chapter 5, and then I think I'm going to take a minute to do some other planning things. Speaking of Patreon, I need to take a look at some things for that. Got to make my note over here. And so I think I'm going to do that. And yeah, so let's go ahead, pull up the timer. We're going to do another 20 minutes. We are about halfway through the stream. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, sprint. Alrighty, second sprint down. I got through chapter 5, so I could check that one off. And now I am back to a couple planning things I kind of forgotten about. I am at a really good stopping place in Cursive Wings and Darkness to hit pause. So I think I may be done reading for the day. So I am 5 chapters in, not as far as I hoped to be, but it is further than I was. So that is what I'm trying to keep my eyes on, is that little fact. So moving on, I am looking at prepping out and scheduling out time to do everything YouTube for February. So that actually ties really nicely into the whole third sprint for tonight's live stream, because the theme of that one is to make sure you are subscribed to my newsletter. um, because my schedule for everything YouTube goes in the newsletter that goes out the first of every month. You can also find out updates for what I'm working on that month, writing wise. And you also get a snapshot of what is coming to Patreon, which is not something I publish anywhere else. Patreon, that is the place I now post my monthly recap, where I assess my goals. I put that in the monthly recap. And I also talk a little bit about how the month went, writing wise and like otherwise, everything in there. So that is where all of that stuff goes. So I'm excited. This is one of my favorite things to do, quite honestly, is to sit down and to do this kind of planning. I love planning. Um, and I have to, because if I was not so very particular about planning all the very little details out, I would not be able to do all of the things that I do. So I am glad that I do that. So I think moving into the final sprint of the night, that is what I'm going to work on, is drafting out my plan, because this is the last week of January, which is crazy. It has gone so incredibly fast. I am kind of thankful though in some ways, because typically where I live, it's only cold December, January, and February. Those are the only time. When I say cold, I mean like wintry cold. So like 20 and below. Anything above that is doable for me. Not fun, but doable. But so I have maybe like one more month of being cold. So I'm excited for that. I also have some really cool things coming out in February. We get to heat up the Curse of Wings and Darkness stuff. So I am starting to look at planning a Kickstarter for that. Don't know exactly when I'm going to launch that, because I don't know what good timing is. I think I fell a little bit into a pitfall planning my last Kickstarter a little bit late. It was right before the release of that book. And I think now I need to do it earlier. And so honestly, February would be kind of a good month to launch that kind of a Kickstarter, because it is very much like a romance focused book. So I would love if I could get around to planning that and maybe putting that out at least end of February, or at least prioritizing planning that in February so that it could be out the month of March. We will see. March would actually be, I think, a good month for that to come out. So maybe that's what we do. Maybe we do March. Anyway, that's what I'm going to focus on for this last sprint. Holy, that's a whole lot of rambling mumbo jumbo. Welcome to my world. So we have another 20-minute sprint left, and then I need to round out the night. I need to finish getting ready for bed, and all of that fun stuff. So for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and start our timer for our third sprint of the night. This is the last sprint, so one more 20-minute sprint, and then we are wrapping up for tonight and starting out the week strong, hopefully. So 20 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, go. Okie dokie. Welcome back. That was the third and final sprint of the night. So I got a lot of planning ahead done. I planned out my video schedule and some of my Patreon posts for the month of February. So all of that is done. Very excited. Now I just have to put together some little pieces, like put all of that into the newsletter and draft out the January recap to go to Patreon, those kinds of details. So it is starting to all come together for February. Now, when am I going to sit down to record a lot of these videos? I don't know. That's a good question. We will see sometime or the other. I will figure that out. I used a lot of my winter break to do a ton of YouTube stuff. And so that got me through the entire month of January and a little bit for some other like short form content. But YouTube has pretty much run up to this week. So gonna have to figure out when to sit down to do that. Thanks for running this. Thank you for coming. I always appreciate having company. I'm usually writing and working at this time anyway. Might as well go live. Might as well join with a couple friends online and see what we can accomplish together. So that is why I do these things. It's a good time. Let me know if you think that there's maybe a better day. I think the next day that would probably work for me to schedule out live streams like this would probably be on Wednesdays. I don't know if that's any better though. So let me know what you think. If you guys have thoughts, leave it in the comments below after the video, whatever. Put it in the chat. Let me know somehow. Don't forget to check out all that stuff in the description box. Check out my books. If you haven't, I am getting ready to put a book up for a free period next month. So I do have a book going up for free on Amazon pretty dang soon, which I'm excited about. That always does very well for me. So be on the lookout for that. If you haven't already, leave me reviews on these books because that helps a ton. That helps way more than you guys even imagine. So thank you guys for following along, and I hope you guys all have a really good week. Last week of January. Stay warm, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Oh my God.